Oh God, are you a flat earther?
Yep, because the horizon was once the curvature, but now that we can see past that, yeah, I don't like that.
Oh God.
What's up, good people? It's Jay. First off, I want to talk about a picture that a friend, coworker took for me. Or didn't take for me, took. Because I talk about this stuff so much. And it was from the day after I did a time-lapse video of the moon. This same moon. About 45 minutes north from me. As far as distance is where this person lives. And this picture was taken the next morning. As you can see on the timestamp here. And I don't know, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, I'm not good with the whole direction thing, and but I know what I see. Don't ever forget that. But yeah, of how I got the moon the night before, and she took the picture of the moon still in this area, showing that how the moon slows down as it's coming to the dark side of the moon. It starts to slow down so the sun can catch up to it and pass it. And that's just what it's been doing. As long as I've been doing these time lapses for like 3 days, it's been coming like an hour later. You know, I just wanted to share that. It's pretty cool though. And as you can see here on this Google Earth map, my location at the bottom, pinpoint, that's when I was doing the time lapse, and up at the other pinpoint, that's in Bainbridge, where she took the picture of the moon with her cell phone in the same area. So, yep, still learning. This is a work in progress, always. We say we don't know everything, but we know what is not at the moment. I don't know how they're going to do it when they start taking these people up to the International Swim Station. Is it going to be no windows, closed off? You can't see where you're going. A lot of connecting parts, loud noises, telling you that your aircraft connected to the International Swim Station, please come this way. And you walk through the connecting part and you come up to the window. Oh wow, I think this is what you're gonna see. I truly believe it. You should show everything, the flight, the travel, the GoPro, do anything. Just have it outside the window, leaving wherever you're leaving from, Florida, anywhere. Show everything. Don't cut nothing. Just show everything. Have cameras connected everywhere. But no, they're going to say no. Then they'll be like, you're going for a free ride also. You need to pay. How convenient. So, yeah, this is what I think it's going to be. It's going to be a blind trip. And you end up in another room thinking that you're floating in space. And you didn't go nowhere. All that money, Anybody can take video. I can call it. I always call videos that I find stupid. But this is what I think you'll see. If you do take that trip, you millionaires. For different worlds from 4 different space agencies. It's like we all live in one world, but I think we should have our own icon picture, is how the discussion went. And I said, sure, go ahead. Now you have 4 different images of the world that you believe you live in. Which one do you think you live in? Or is there 4 different worlds? Not a trick question. Take all the time you need. I see nothing wrong with this at all. Like I said, my kids are grown. They're in college now, but they could still speak on it. You know, I encourage them, and but I try to kick it to the people that I know that have young kids, and you know, challenge them to have their kids ask questions. That's it. Ask questions. I mean, life is all about love and debates, not arguments. Most people would think differently. You don't have to argue about this. Is ask questions. And how do you know? And did you see this yourself, teacher? Yada, 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 you know? And like I said in one of my old videos, you know, when I was young in school, teacher always said, well, according to NASA. So nobody in that classroom truly knew, you know. So I encourage people who have young kids to have their kids question these teachers about these things. You know, don't be afraid that they're going to fail their child, you know, because that's when you step in. So why did you fail him? You know, then you go back and forth. You know, he gave a wrong answer to this, gave a wrong answer to the globe. Well, then you come in with your flat earthness. I would have, if I'd have knew this back then. Like I said, I'm 1 year in deep. You know, and it's never too late. You know, educate your kids. I did a video on that too. It's called Educate Your Kids Before Satan Does. You know? It's not an insult. That's just who created the globe. You know? There will be a shift back into the original direction. Also touched up on the satellites that are not in space like you think they are, because they tell you, so you have no choice but to believe them. They have all of the equipment to send these satellites up into orbit to use for our technology and our cell phones and all kinds of stuff like that. When in reality,
95% of all telephone and data is transferred over submarine cables.
Not satellite.
Not satellite.
Phone calls, banking, web surfing, email, streaming video, and other communication. And it all began 150 years ago.
We have here samples of the early cables from the 1850s.
Some of the items have not been on display in more than a century.
With this cable now, it was what, minutes?
Yeah, that's right.
It sounds like this was the original information age.
That's right.
If you've ever phoned or emailed someone on another continent, you can dial up some gratitude for something that happened a century and a half ago.
It's been 150 years since the first transatlantic cable began ushering in global communications. And now tech giants are taking that undersea revolution a big step further.
This is how worldwide communication begins.
Not satellite.
Not satellite.
Research flag.
and to retrieve these satellites, they send these planes up. They don't look as old as these, I don't assume, anymore. But this was back in the day. They send these planes to catch the satellite when it's time for it to come back down. And they do it mostly at nighttime. I spoke about this before. Nothing's changed. They can't do it during the daytime because somebody might see it. But now the balloons are more clearer, as you can see. They're more transparent, but you won't even notice. So all you would notice is the satellite. You'll look up and see a silver shining object, and you'll be like, oh wow. Don't be fooled. So when you're down there in Florida, thinking that satellites are going up in this, when in reality you have this that's not televised and praised, like the rockets going up with these satellites that's supposed to be in them. So the rockets go up, they go back down in the water in Bermuda, and then you have your satellites up with this information and footage.
It was Antarctica that first drew Tyler Wright Chris Field to his job as a payload engineer in satellite communications.
What got my attention was it said you must be able to pass the exam to go to Antarctica. And I thought that sounded really neat, so I decided to apply for this job, and they ended up hiring me.
Palestine is also the control center for launches at various other world sites, including Sweden, Australia, Canada, and India.
We control the payload from here. We do all the commanding from here, and we get all the data from here and pass that on to scientists.
The balloons, made of material as thin as trash bags but bigger than football fields, are inflated with helium and launched on journeys to the edge of space. The data gathering and scientific experiments they carry out can be accomplished at a fraction of the cost of rockets and space shuttle launches.
A lot of people think that what we do has to do with forecasting the weather.
Weather forecasting, it's not. Although weather monitoring for launches is part of the job. But what about sorting out the Big Bang Theory, detecting cosmic rays, measuring ozone layers, and hundreds of other scientific experiments that most of us don't understand? But what is accomplished by the Columbia Scientific Balloon Facility may well affect our lives and those of our children as long as this planet spins.
I have a question. Why can't they do these launches with these balloons, with these satellites from Florida instead of the rockets? It'll be probably less interesting for a crowd of people. But you see there's nobody there because this is Antarctica. The circle around the circumference of the waters of the earth. Not that old global warming bullshit that they show you and tell you that ice is melting. This is not that place. This is not the Arctic Sea. This is on top of the ice wall. Do it look like they're worried about anything? Or does it look like they've been doing this for a while? You seen the pictures with the old airplanes? You think this just happened? You think they just started sending up satellites with balloons around this time, 2009-ish? It's not televised frequently. Yeah, it made a news report, but do they talk about it when they're launching up a new rocket? Do they even say in other areas we also have satellites going up like this? No, they don't talk about that today, but it's still going on. There ain't a damn thing in those rockets. It's just a recycled piece of metal that's used for a fire show or fireworks or whatever the hell you call that thing. Light show. Yeah, their favorite words. Light show. That's all it's used for. And you pay to go see that. On top of the $59 million a day that they get. You pay to go see a rocket go up into the clouds and disappear. And fall back in the water. They don't talk about this constantly. But no. Immediately you get CGI. Right after you can't see the rockets anymore. You have CGI. Not this. Why don't they just show this? These satellites. They can't. They can't tell you the truth. Satan will never tell you the truth. Trust Yahweh.
Peter, Sandy, is it turning or is the earth spinning? A rainbow. Sandy? It's not turning, the earth is spinning. Sandy? That's going straight up, so the earth is turning. We're moving away from it.
Is that what always happens? Does it always go like that?
Yep.
It looks bad to me. Is that what always happens? Does it always go like that?
Yep.
It looks bad to me.
Peter.
Are you scared? Are you worried? Is this what you think you're gonna see? This is what happens when you don't want to use a regular camera to show the earth. For these satanic robots that think that they could just pop their head in on my channel, leaving novels of NASA quoted information, you guys to do better than that. I think I have by now earned the right to ask you for personal proof. So before you think with that one side of your brain, you can come here and stop or correct anything that is not happening. The only thing that can trump logic is proof.